welcome to our predictions, guys. This is going to be the weekend reading as per usual. So right now I'm going to shuffle the cards. I'm going to use again the Telema Tarot for those who wonder what kind of decks I'm using. I like to kind of change them here and there, and so I a bigger perceptive of the decks. This is what you have. I mean, it does help when you change decks time to time, although I rather like to stick to the traditional deck of Reader Waite. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome at the stream. Welcome at this show, guys. I'm so glad to have you here, all of you. Okay, so now for Aries, the weekend will go under the Tree of Swords, and that's kind of like unusual because I remember I had really good cards for Aries for midweek and for weekly reading, and now we do have the Tree of Swords. And the only thing that comes up into my mind with this card is that you need to be very cautious with how people are treating you, is because with this card, for what it seems, there will be some sort of attacks, verbal attacks sent in your way, with a certain aim of those attacks that you kind of like lose control, lose yourself, and outburst or make certain mistakes in these kind of stuff. What I'm trying to say, guys, is that with this card, maybe people will try to abuse your mental security. They will try to make you outraged, to make you outburst, and it's not going to be a very good position if you do so. Now if you do so, if you do answer to those kind of attacks, for what does it seems, the things that you have reached so far, let's say that this week you have made one step forward towards your goal, and if you do answer to those attacks, if you do answer to those people which are trying to get into you by spreading gossips, for example, giving you a mental cruelty, giving you a bad treatment, you will make 2 steps backwards. So in reality, you will not be even as far as you were at the start of the week. That being said, guys, mind your own business. Don't pay attention to the people hatred, to the people envy. It's because it is what you're going to face this weekend, and you may be surprised how far some people are willing to go, seeing your I can say success or achievements, and they will really be jealous. They will really envy, and because of that, they will try to kind of like diminish your results or make your work irrelevant only on words, however, not in reality. And so you don't have to feel obligations, guys, to explain yourself. You should not feel obligations to prove your deeds. It's just you thought it is right, you done it, so you have to live with it, and basically that's that. Now the next one, that will be Taurus, and for Taurus we do have the Five of Pentacles. This card usually comes, guys, when you're about to face certain challenges and certain difficulties along the road, and these difficulties usually come in multiple areas in your life. Fortunately, they're not as big difficulties as that cannot be overcome, that you can't cope with. It's just that this weekend is going to be quite busy in a sense where you have to scatter yourself among things, and you need to kind of contribute additional efforts and additional resources so you can kind of like stabilize certain situations which were stable till now, but suddenly they turn out to be very fragile. Now what is important with this card, guys, especially career wise, is that you should not kind of like have a how can I place it in words here, you should not have a fear of that you have did some certain mistakes in your work, or you have done some certain wrong approaches. I mean, you are a human, and that's why you do mistakes. It is what we do, humans. We do mistakes. If we're talking about your relationship here, Taurus, it will be very important to give space to your partner. So don't try to suffocate and stifle them just because you can't feel that um, that you can't feel them closer to you as you're usually used to feel them. Probably they need some time on their own, and you have to grant that time to them today or the weekend, because otherwise it kind of seems that you are exhausting them, guys, and this is why you may have a certain difficulties into your relationship for nothing else. Now, the next one, that will be Gemini. Gemini, for you, we do have the Page of Swords. So, Page of Swords, it could be a person, a person that will give you hard time opposing you and basically opposing your ideas. Now, that very well could be your kid that it is doing just the opposite what you told them to do. For example, you told your kid this weekend that they will have to attend to their chores. Well, they will not do that. They will play it on their phone, they will play on their PlayStation, they will play on their Xbox, for example, or they will just go out and play soccer or basketball or whatever. It will be the last thing that they are going to do is what you told them to do. It is because this is a rebellious spirit. It is what I'm trying to say. If this isn't the person, then that card shows that this weekend, guys, it does look like that you will have a certain opposition which are on your mindset, or kind of like on the things that you are planning to do. It could be that you are planning to spend some time with friends. Well, your partner, your lover is going to be against that. You are planning to work this weekend, again your lover will be against that. You are planning to be with your lover, well, your friends are going to be against that. What is important here, people, however, is to be true to yourself and to kind of like don't allow fiction to present itself as facts to you, because certain people will try to use certain leverage excuse me, a certain leverage, so you do what they want you to do rather than what you want to do. So that being said, Gemini, be kind of like true to yourself in whatever you are attending in this weekend, guys. Next one, that will be Cancer. Cancer, for you, Five of Cups. It is what we have, so it is likely that you will not be very happy of the ending of the week. It's not that the week is not going to be successful for you guys, but because you probably have expected to achieve more toward the end of the week, and this isn't the case here for what does it seems with this card. You should not bring this, as if this is happening into your career, you shouldn't bring that kind of attitude at home, especially if you do have family, because that is going to just open old arguments, that is going to raise up old scandals, that is going to open old wounds, and it will make them bleed again, and this isn't something that you really want. If this is about your relationship, however, that card is showing that your partner itself is going to bring up some, let's say, old errors you have done, or, old things you have done which were kind of like sneaky, they were surreptitious towards your partner, and they will try to kind of like make you feel guilty about it. And what is done is done again, and it's back in the past. You can't fix it right now. So instead of that, if your partner is such a pain in the A, you basically should withdraw for a little while and really kind of like spend some time outside of a relationship. But again, if it is about your career, guys, don't bring that thing at home. It is because it will just force your partner to be a little bit more aggressive. Now, what is important with this card, however, is that you are on the right track. Now, if you are asking, am I on the right track with this card? Yeah, you are on the right track, even though the results aren't that satisfiable at this very moment. You will you will import you import certain effort so you can reach the desirable results. I mean, you can't have everything in one day, you can't have everything at all, but at least you can have it in a certain satisfiable way, and that will happen further in the future. It's just not now, but you should not drop that kind of that attitude. What I mean is that you shouldn't drop your goal, you shouldn't drop your dream. It's just you need to push it a little bit harder. The next one, that will be Leo. For Leo, we do have the Four of Wands. First thing I want to say, guys, is that you lack friends. You can make some new friends here in this weekend. Probably going out on a party, on a pub, disco, you name it. Next thing I want to say about this card is that you are about to celebrate something here in this weekend. And last but not least, this card is showing a ending of a very very important process, cycle of growth, which means that you can set a closure into certain things in your family, you can set a closure into certain things into your relationship, and that closure will be toward a positive end. As a matter of fact, this card always says closure to a matter that we have worked for a quite a long time ago. We have placed a lot of efforts into it, and right now we are seeing it finalized, finished, and successful. So that being said, Leo, that will be a very productive weekend. You can have a huge unfoldment into your relationship. I mean huge unfoldment. I mean bringing it into the next level. If you are planning to work this weekend, that will be also a huge period for working. It is because there are certain things that are bothering you, that you are working upon them, but they don't really seem to come to an end. Now this weekend most likely they will, and the end will be quite successful for you. Now the next one, that will be Virgo. And for Virgo, we do have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant card says that nothing out of the ordinary is going to happen. Now the most cost effective thing that can happen here is that you may realize or kind of like change your beliefs. Now that card is all about changing our beliefs, seeking counsel if we don't understand anything, and also that the issues, difficulties, problems that we do have are resolved in a process of a contemplating and leading a meaningful conversation where uh, the other party doesn't just present these facts, it doesn't just present this proof, but also explains the situation. That being said, this card could show that you may seek a counsel with your elder this week. That card could say that you could seek a counsel with your boyfriend or a girlfriend or a friend of yours, which have more experience into your situations because they have already been there, and they have actually set a closure, and you can learn from their advices, you can learn from their experience. So this weekend for you, Virgo, it's all about learning how to cope with a certain difficulties to make them easier on you. Next one, that will be Libra, and for Libra we do have the Libra card, Justice card. So accountability, it is the first thing that comes to my mind with this card. You need to be accountable to your actions, you need to be accountable with your decisions, and the accountability first and foremost needs to go towards yourself. So first thing first, you need to act as it is fair towards yourself. You need to know that the sense of righteousness is gonna come natural to you in this weekend, and you will pretty much know which is fair and which isn't fair, and it is up to you to act fair toward the situation. That being said, guys, that justice will be served and you will be the hand of justice this weekend. So if some of your family mistreated you, if some of your family actually acted surreptitiously towards you in the previous weeks or in the past, now justice will be served, and as I said, you are going to be the hand of justice. If you are happening to work this weekend, it is very likely that you will rearrange your resources. It is very likely that you will rearrange your efforts in a such way that you will be much more productive than you are usually. It is because you're about to see that you're throwing yourself way too much into certain thing which can be achieved with pretty much less effort, and vice versa with other things around. That being said, guys, it does look like that you are gonna have a huge progress in your job, but not by luck, not by because let's say the time has came to make that breakthrough, but because you alone are going to figure out how to rearrange things, how to fit the pieces in the puzzle, and through these fittings, it is how the progress is gonna come. If we're talking about relationship, this card kind of like implants that you need to have a little bit more mature approach. Another mature approach, I mean, mm, rather not emotional approach, but rather logical approach toward the situations in your relationship, and that again that will come natural to you. So your boyfriend or your girlfriend will not be able to take advantage of your emotions toward them. Either you love them or you hate them. That's irrelevant here. You need to know that justice, law, and order will be at place. That being said, that if they were dicks, they will get what they deserve. But if you are such, then you are gonna get what you deserve. So whatever happens in your relationship this weekend, it is because it falls into place, either good or bad. It is served so it can fix the situation, and the the fixture here comes probably in the next week or the week after, guys. But regardless of that, even if something, I cannot say bad, but unpleasant happens during this weekend into your relationship, you need to know that it is for the greater good. Now, the next one, that will be Scorpio. Scorpio, we do have the Knights of Cups for you, and lady Scorpios, that could be a man in your life that is coming. Now this one, it's kind of like very, how can I place it in words? It is very gentle. This guy, it is ready to you know, fall down stars for you, or kind of like chase stars for you. This one, it is ready to tell you everything you want to hear. This one, it is a seducer, if you want to say it that way, a suitor that does not accept no for an answer. And especially if they see you as something that they really, really want, is because this person always goes for the dreams of their heart. And if you are something that they have dreamed for quite a while, you have a stalker on your back. And I'm saying stalker in case if you don't want to have a relationship or anything with this person. But if you do, I mean, you can make that empathizement for a fairly quickly, for fairly rapid amount of time. What I mean is that for one night you can have, I don't know, a relationship, if you want to say it that way, with this person. Now, if this isn't about a guy, that card shows um, let's say if it is about your relationship. Now this card shows that you need to show your emotions at your partner. You need to make them aware that you do care, and you need to make them aware what you feel toward them. And that goes with the same measure to those which are single. They have something in mind, but they only dream for that person. You need to know that only dreaming is not gonna bring that person to you, but actually a work is needed, and that work comes as you gather up a courage, if you want to say it that way, and say to them what you really feel deep down within you and what you think can come up from two of you. And if this is about work and you are happening to work this weekend, guys, you need to place a lot of work, because this card shows that as much work you place, the much rewards you are gonna reap afterwards. So this night does not rely on luck. This night does not rely on a meaningful circumstances or a happy coincidences. No, this night relies only on hard work, because he knows that the hard work he puts, it leaves outside, how can I place it in words? It leaves a possibility for mistakes close to zero. That being said, he relies completely on his own personal skills and knowledge, and you need to rely on that. You need to know that if something screws up into your career this weekend, it is because you haven't you haven't invested as much effort as you can. And same thing goes, if you reach a certain breakthrough or certain achievement, it is because you deserve it. It's because you worked for it. It was hard work, and it is yours basically. Now the next one, that will be Sagittarius. Sagittarius, for you we do have the Eight of Pentacles, and Eight of Pentacles, if you are single, guys, that card is a clear sign that singularity should be over, and you have to gather up a courage to step outside in the world, in to make the world aware that you are ready to make a new commitment, new relationship, new enterprise, new empathizement, you name it. If we're talking about your career here in this week and you're working, that card shows that your work will be unnaturally productive, in a sense that everything will happen the way you want it to happen. So in other words, you will be able to make what you want to make the way you want to make it, and there is nothing more beautiful than that. And in the process of that, guys, you're about to kind of like raise up the skill level of your performance. You will be able to learn, even though new approaches, new skills, new subtlety maneuvers, if I may express myself that way. But most and foremost, that card comes is that everything you touch this weekend, guys, it will be productive. Everything you start this weekend is going to mm, flourish and thrive. So I suggest you, Sagittarius, not to slack and not to like make excuses. Okay, you gotta work, and the work is going to be productive. Now there will be ups and downs with this card. I mean, probably nothing will happen from your first try, guys, but this is the Murphy law. I mean, if something happens from your very first try, then obviously you have done a serious mistake along the way. And the master of perfection, or the road to perfection, is to try anew, to try again, to learn from your mistakes, and is what you're going to do, Sagittarius, during this weekend. Now, next one, that will be Capricorns. Capricorns, for you, we do have the Nine of Wands, and that is a card of defensiveness. That is a card of recuperation, a card of preparation, patience, and analyzation, reconnoitering your surrounding. This is a card where you're about to realize that even though you are close to your succession, even though your plans or certain plans that you do have are very close, near completion, there are still room for mistake. There is still room for something to happen so it can completely annihilate all of your work. And this is what that weekend is all about. That weekend is about you taking the precautionary measures needed so you can prevent that disaster. And if you are patient enough, again, what I want to say is that you will be able to do so. That being said, into your relationship, guys, you need to be very careful and you need to be very patient. Now here, silence is the best answer you can have to everything. What I mean is that if your partner is trying to get into you, if your partner kind of have asks you weird question, is because they're searching for excuse to do something. They're searching for excuse to corner you. Please don't give them that excuse. Just don't give them the opportunity to take an edge upon you. Same things. Now if we're talking about your career here with this card, guys, is that this weekend most likely you ain't going to work in your full capacity. It is because you will be, or should be rather, very careful with your approach and what steps you are planning to take moving forward, and especially the moment you are taking these steps. It is because probably there is a trap along the way. Probably that trap is set by your adversary. Probably that trap is set by your colleague, which doesn't want to see you succeeding. And guys, you need to forewarn yourself where this trap lies, and how you can do that through patience and careful reconnoitering of your surrounding. Now, next one, that will be Aquarius. Well, for Aquarius, we do have the Ten of Cups. So rather happy weekend for Aquarius. They're about to feel themselves very comfortable into their surroundings. They are going to feel themselves home-like environment. Even though, guys, if you are recently being hurt, tremendously hurt from something, this weekend is gonna get easy on you. What I mean is that you will start recuperating from that kind of pain. That could be failure of a project, breaking up into one relationship. Now you are going to see that your vital signs are starting to, how can I place it in words? They are starting to come back, which means that your sense of life, your reason to keep on going will become stronger and stronger. And if we're talking about recent breakup here, then you very soon, guys, will be ready to step out again in the world. uh, Hello, can everybody hear me? Oh, okay. It's because my streaming software, the streaming software crashed for a second. Okay. Anyway, so you will be able, guys, to kind of like get back on your feet. If I'm trying, it's what I'm trying to say. If you had a misfortunate week, if you had a misfortunate couple of weeks or a month before, this weekend is going to give you the necessary means that you actually can grab life with both of your fistfuls, if I can express myself that way. Talking about your career with this card, guys, I think that whatever, if you are happening to work here in this weekend, I think that you are going to be very satisfied with the results you are getting. And some of you, those who are more tenacious about their work, they're about to realize that this particular job they are at, it is basically the maximum they can achieve here. And very soon after, for what it seems, they will start taking a newspaper, or they will start browsing internet, seeking new opportunities as a job. It doesn't have to be a resignation situation here. It could be that they will start seeking for additional job. Okay. And last but not least, we do have Pisces. For Pisces, that will be the Wheel of Fortune. So, guys, a weekend of luck, it is what is coming in your way. Basically, that will be a fortunate circumstances happening in your surroundings, guys, which are going to give you a escape route. They are going to give you an opportunity for breakthrough. They are going to give you what you need in order to make certain negotiations, to make certain um, confession, or basically to make your time running pleasant. But that is because the Wheel of Fortune, for those who are kind of like for those who are interested in numerology, or not numerology, but astrology, this is Jupiter, guys. And basically that's the card that gives you the luck and the necessary means for everything you need. And if you are feeling stuck into a certain situation, those situations are going to become stir. Okay. And through that sternness, you will be able to align them the way you want to align them. And if we're talking about your relationship here, and if you and your partner are not in a very good relationship right now, I mean, the communication sucks and you cannot just get through them, uh, this weekend, because we do have that card for you, Pisces, something is going to happen in between you and them that will give you exactly what you need in order to place the question as the question is, so you can improve the relationship, or you can get back the old relationship you really, really crave for. And if you are happening to work this weekend, Pisces, I strongly suggest you do that if you have that opportunity, because through your work, guys, it does look like that you are going to force a chain of events which are going to make serious breakthrough upon your project. these chain of events are going to give you the freedom you require in order to align your job or your work, your projects, or even ask for a new promotion if you want to say it that way. But whatever you want, guys, this is what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to stress here. Whatever you want to achieve in the next couple of weeks, now is the time to start. Now is the time to uh, set a motion or kind of like stir the avalanche so it can actually reach its destination at the end. Which means, guys, that if you want to repair your marriage, if you want to repair your relationship, this weekend is the weekend you start doing that. If you want to be more successful in your job, this weekend is the weekend that you at least plan your next move in there. Or if you again have an opportunity to work, then you have to roll up your sleeves, guys, and start working this weekend. Is because, as I said, that is going to force a chain of events which are going to open you numerous amounts of doors of opportunities, Pisces. Okay, so guys, that was the weekend reading, and I would have taken a couple of questions. Well, anyway, I will take a couple of questions now, guys. Um, those who want their answer answered by one tarot card draw, yeah, they can just make a comment here in the live stream, and I will answer to those who I choose. Linda Dinning asks, "Am I moving soon, Rad?" With the Emperor, rather media court timing, so it should be let's say longer than you are expecting. But what you need to know is that at least the moving will be well settled, which means that you will kind of like take every precaution you require or kind of like it is required for making that movement successful at your behalf, which means that you will have everything in control. Probably, I don't know what you mean under moving, but if you're trying to buy a new house, then that kind of card shows that the deal you're gonna strike will be very, very favorable for you. Or if you are about to rent a house, then the neighborhood and the house, the price itself is going to be a very, how can I place it in words, very acceptable. Okay. Okay, so next one. Jenny Jason, can you see if my son will be okay? The Four of Cups. So I don't know what you mean by that, but this card shows that it requires change of environment. Now I read here that some boys are terrorizing him, and if this is about the school, I mean you need to change the school obviously, and if this is about the neighborhood, that I mean your son needs to start, you know, changing environment if that's the case, just because Four of Cups usually is that it is the subject it is in the same place for a quite a long time, more than it can afford, more than the subject should be in there. And that being said, your son either needs to reallocate, or it needs different friends, or it needs different environment. And as I can see that he is severely ill, then that depends on you. I mean, what I'm trying to say here, Jenny, is that the problem ain't gonna fix itself on its own accord. You are the one who has to fix that issue. Okay, and one more. Cynthia, I'm in need of a job. Will I get one soon? Um, Cynthia, I think, yeah, with the Four of Wands, that will be the job exactly you need. As you said, I need a job. It will be exactly you need, and I think that it's gonna meet your expectations financially, by salary, and also by a working environment. What I mean is that the people that you're gonna work with, they are going to accept you as a family, which which kind of means that you are going to make bunch of faithful friends at that place. Now, when that is gonna happen, I cannot say, because timing is about I mean, you need a spread in order to make timing, or at least I need to see your number by numerology. But yeah, it does look like that it will, the job is going to come, okay, and you are going to be quite satisfied, and you are going to say to yourself, finally I get what I really needed. Okay, so that was the live for today, guys, and I thank you all for participating. And I really hope that these readings for the weekend are, coming helpful to you. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm a bit winded tonight. It's not because the hour is late, but because I have a little bit of a headache, and this is why sometimes I'm trying to find words and these kind of stuff today. However, again, thank you guys all for watching. It really means a lot for me to have you all here. And if you find that video helpful, please like and share it so it can help to more people. If you do want a private reading, you can find the prices and the service at www.tarotpredictions.net, which is written here in the post. And once you make your purchase, guys, if you don't contact me through the contact form, I will contact the recipient email which made the purchase, for to to schedule the reading for convenient time for me and for you. And with that being said, guys, I wish you a very, very productive weekend. You take care now, and see you next time. Bye.